Take two. This time with the new and improved proper that's the technical term. Now with the new and improved thingamabob. Branding, so that it has the right title when we do the VOD later. All right, everyone. Let's boom. So I don't have anyone here now, so that's okay. That is still cool as beans because we're gonna get some friends. We're gonna go snag some friends, as it were. We're gonna go find some friends, as it were. Beautiful. All right, there's that. Oh, we have one viewer. Hello, welcome, new friend. Let me see, who else might want to know? Who do we have that I could... yeah. Oh, let me just, yeah, I'm taking off the Virtual Greyhawk Con tag because Virtual Greyhawk Con has finished, tragically. I mean, it isn't exactly tragic. Like, the Greyhawk community is still thriving, and a convention cannot last forever, and that and the ephemeral nature of a convention is part of its charm, but I was doing that. Plus, it's Warhammer 40k day. At least I think it is. How about this? We'll start with Warhammer 40k, and then we'll go from there and see if anyone shops by and wants to see something fun. Now, which of the Warhammer 40k, you might ask? Well, that's a good question. Let's see. We got options. We got Dark Heresy. Ooh, we got the planet generator. We could just generate a plan. Ooh. No. We were going to... Also, if anyone in the chat happens to be... feel like naming planets, I could use... Hi! I try to stay in the 41st millennium. Mind you. Since the introduction of the Primus Marines and the destruction of Cadia, the calendar has ticked beyond the year 41,000. So, I mean, I'm sure Zeech is alive and well. Well, can you ever kill... That is an interesting question of how do you measure the exact amount of a nebulous deity whose thing is schemes and schemes within schemes. Like, how do you measure the amount of presence that kind of deity has in any given time frame? But that is neither here nor there. My point... Oh, also, Sig, hello, welcome. Since you're here in the chat, planet names. I need planet names. This is important. Because if I do not have planet names, I can't... Planet names are important. I need them. I meant to... Hang on. I think what we're going to do is the Expectus Primus, right? So let's pop that open. And we're going to look at all the planets. Hamish, Viseria, we were going... Bertland, Meriteth, and Willem. Oh, yes. Exactly. So you can't say that Zeech is more powerful in the 41st millennium, or that there is more Zeech when there really only ever is one Zeech. Or there are 1,000 fractions of Zeech, each demon, but you either there is all one or a million. Like, to try to quantify. That is true. But is it total number of followers overall? Or number of followers relative to the sentient population in the galaxy, which I'm pretty sure just keeps going up? Like, okay, Malthus wasn't completely right, and yes, there are limiting factors, but given the nature of biology, or humans' inclination toward, existence, I'm fairly certain, there are more followers. Oh, I'm sure there is a cosmic scale. The question isn't, is there one? The question is, how would you be able to, say, declare... Oh. I mean, I suppose. The question is, Oh, hang on. I suppose there could, but how could any given person be able to quantify that? You know what I mean? There'd be no way to know. And therefore, there's no way to say that the 41st millennium has more, but we're getting sidetracked. I need, the question is, I mean, yeah, okay, so supposedly they get, oh yeah, that'd be cool. Imagine the Chaos Gods getting plaques. The question is, who doles out those plaques, and how powerful are they? But that's not, my point. I was gonna actually do serious world building. Eat cheese and apple at the same time. But, point on all of that was that I need planet names. I was just making sure that Gothraxis, Pelagos, kelp and algae farming, salt and fishermen exports, local level manufacturing, island has elected representatives, and whoever's in the High Command Imperial Guard is in charge of the local base. A sector-wide Imperial Guard, oh yes, the logistics special. New Terra, Greater New Terra, because the city is New Terra. Volthea is the mutated geese one. Kofoth, magnetic rocks. Right. Kurosawa family, yes. That's why the ship surgeon was from there. $5,000-year leash. I mean, I can too be serious and eat an apple. It's perfectly possible. Just because apples get a bad reputation. Oh, fudging. My apple fell. My backup apple. Yes, I have a backup apple. Just because... somewhere over there. That's not why I'm getting that. Alright. My point on all this is that I need a planet, a name for this particular galaxy, Milky Way, in the 41st millennium, where Um, let me, okay. Aincrot family, Grelf, okay. We haven't used that, I think we used Grelf for something, but Nomtur, Bernadette, alright, that's where, Stubbs is from, the cook. Oh, yes, Farina's immediate family. Right. We haven't named it yet, though. A bunch of X's. Okay, well. Sorry. If you're so convinced that, okay, also, does the mic still work? Sorry about that. If you're still convinced that, spit one out. Let's see. I don't actually, I know of the Wu-Tang Clan, and I do know some of their music, but I don't know their members' names. Off the top of my head. So because you're the only one here, so far, and, that means you kind of sort of get to name it. Unless someone else happens to be in the chat and just not showing up on my thing. In which case, you could, if you so desired, name the planet. And I can provide background. And then we can work on some world building stuff for the planet, you know? Like we did a couple random roll tables, right? I mean, I have no objection to, I mean, we made a Scott Chip cannon in this version of Warhammer 40k universe. We've had some really interesting names. If I remember some of the names we've come up with correctly, we've had some silly ones. I am not objecting to picking your favorite member of the Wu-Tang Clan, and then we can modify their name slightly and name the planet after them. I'm not objecting to that. But you do name a lot of things, and I figured if anyone else is in the chat who wanted to name a planet and happened to be around, where is it? Boop, 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 boop. We are about naming planets. Hang on. But let me do one thing. You can also create other planets and yes. Well, if you don't want to pick your favorite member of the Wu-Tang Clan, then pick another name. A better name. From something cool. Or, I don't know. Or we could leave it as is for now. And, let's see if we can... Let me see. What else we got on notes? hang on. I think we made to, let's see, Lore, Farina, cousin of Farina's, right. So, Lumiere family, age 620, has 8 children. She acknowledges 3 bastards by non-navigators, unmarried, 8 children. Okay, yes. Because one of them might be hit. Oh, right. He knocked her. Oh, that whole mess of fun things. Okay, Lumiere family, magisterial house, based on Holy Terror itself. Good terms with the Stevenson family. I have a heated rivalry with the Merp family. It just so happens that Aaron Stevenson, Farina's father, and the Novator's nephew, was married to Jacinda Merp. Right. So, Laura was a daughter of the first. Was daughter of a first cousin of hers. It was a first cousin of his wife. Yes. Right. So Farina's father's her mother. So her mother's first cousin. So that would make Alana Farina's second cousin. But they still went and saved her ass from the ultimate doom. Alright, but I wanted to say was there anything... Okay. Stubbs was on board already. Do a blood feud. She'd studied, we had notes on her. She studied, Jorna, partially was brought aboard by Captain Hemshell as a companion from Bertland. She said, Sig companion had a child of unknown paternity who was later taken, right. Yes, her daughter. Stevenson House, right, we note, who noted the family a favor to get her a navigator. Farina had studied on Terra as a child, finally had to go back when Jaren called her family's favorite, only to be shipped off on the Expectus Primus, right. And then all the other explorers. And yes, okay, so we don't have any more notes on Farina. Other than she studied on Terra as a child, was shipped back, went back to her family's house. Relatively young. So that's the thing. That's an important note. For those of you unfamiliar, and do speak up in the chat. Hi, I'm Lee. I don't think... Yeah, we still only got one viewer. Still the only one watching. That's okay. I don't mind. I'm just... I'm just kind of hoping someone else will pop by, but, sometimes only a few people pop by for the streams. Nom! Okay, that sounds tasty. Alright, so I'll give a nice overview for both anyone who happens to be watching you for later and anyone who happens to end up watching on the stream on VOD. And then when you pop back... No, not necessarily. Anyway, the Warhammer 40k universe is large and expansive. We know this. It is extremely large and expansive. I'm not going to go into all the whole spiel about the details unless somebody specifically requests it, because there's a lot. But basically, what I've been doing is making up, creating these characters. I have, several of them have full-on character sheets. I'm working on, pulling those over. Okay, that's a full-on character sheet for the, Hey, if someone very polite in the chat wants to flirt with me, I'm not going to say no, but I didn't plan a hot date, is what I mean. Those are all these, planets we've been, basically building from the ground up. One of the great things about the Warhammer 40k universe is that I think it's argued about, people quibble whether it's in the millions or billions, as in number of planets that the Imperium controls or controlled at one point. And I would err on the side of billions, just because when the millions showed their math, they made a few causal errors that I think they failed to account for certain factors, and it was very small. Now, that doesn't mean it got to billions. That's 1,000 times more, I'm not sure, but I do think it's more likely. Anyway, there's a lot of planets in the Milky Way. So they're not all outlined in detail in lore, which means you can just invent a bunch and explain how they interact with the other planets on the Imperium, and it makes sense canonically. Which is kind of awesome. So, that's what we've been doing over the course of several streams. I've been inventing planets, taking notes on them. Some of the notes I wrote down in this notebook that we are slowly but surely typing up on various occasions. We've also created some maps, not particularly good ones, but here, if I do this, not up, nope. Okay, let me see if I could, nope. I'm sure I have at least some maps of, yeah, see, look, let me do this. That work? There we go. This is the planet of Beezus, by the way. We actually haven't finished naming their planets yet. But this is a map of the planet Beezus. According to our notes, let me just... we have all the planets here. Beezus was a civilized world, mostly with mining exports, nothing exceptional, but large. Only, but enough to only lag a little bit in the tech department. So it's pretty high tech, not, you know, top of the line, highly connected to Holy Terra high tech level, but fairly high tech. It was also, if I remember correctly, attacked by orcs. If I remember correctly, we've also been, okay, so the Expectus Primus. The important stuff is that this name of this planet that Farina comes from. The important stuff is all of it. The entire Expectus Primus. The entire... I'd like for, say, I was hoping that, Darling Creepshow might drop by. She's pretty cool. And, or Bees. Bees is also pretty cool. You're also pretty cool. I'm glad you stopped by. I know Christoph isn't coming. He doesn't come to the non-Greyhawk streams. Basically, you know, maybe some friends. We'll see. You know, like you do. Okay, my point on all of that was that... Alright, you know what? That's fair. You give me a name. I'm not opposed to stream redirects. Those of you who... What's the core? Watch a stream regularly know that I'm not inherently opposed to randomly switching topics. And so if no one objects, we'll randomly switch topics, sure. Within the realm of well, half-elf warrior. Alright. Name sounds vaguely Bakloonish. I'm guessing this, yes, I know it is a Greyhawk thing. I mean, I am not the only Greyhawk expert in the world. Oh. Yeah, my roommate's coming home for lunch. She pops home on a break. Quite a bit. Alright, tell you what. You could pop into the Greyhawk. Alright. Well. Alright, tell you what. You come up with a good name. Alright, you know what? We'll bring up Anna's map. We'll do a 15-minute briefly detour into Greyhawk. I will allow for it. Because I'm cool like that. No? Okay. And I will bring up the map. And we'll do a 15-minute Greyhawk detour. 598, right? It's... Alright, so we are... Okay, so... Let me... Map. Map. I'm bringing up the map. Give me half a second. We're doing a 15-minute Greyhawk detour at the request, but you better name the planet. Like a good one. That's the deal. We'll do a 15-minute Greyhawk detail and help you figure that out, and then you name the planet. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Greyhawk, it is a setting created by Gary Gygax in the, Come on. No? Okay, you're still being as... Oh, for fudge's sakes. There we go. Haha. We can just do that. That's pretty cool. Alright, so, map. Up swamps. Okay, so we're in... Bay... I'm less than sure of exactly where we are, but I know this. We are in... we started out in Hardby. We're going east, right? So, east is... Which way is east? East. So, we were, heading out of town. We were in Hardby. We were ordered by the Gynarchs of Hardby to go investigate the swamp, figure out what the deal is. People were dying. It was not fun. Which suggests that we were maybe up here, around between One Ford and Servants Cove. There was a bunch of flooding. We know that. And then, they sent us out to investigate. I was at work when we got the exact orders. Therefore, Jasper, was coming along, but kind of checking out mentally when we got our exact orders. So he, yeah, absolutely. In fact, it probably makes sense, given that the Gynarchs of Hardby were the one who ordered us to go investigate this. And so we went to investigate. We found a bunch of lizardmen. There's a weird black thing that might be a dragon. Evil sky lizard, is what we've heard. From the mutated lizardman we were talking to, who's probably not a lizardman. I want to say the words tricrine. Might apply. It has pincer jaws. Definitely not human. Common's iffy. Of course he has good AC. That's your thing. Okay. Squishy. That's okay. Yeah, so we're near Hardby. But, hang on, let me look at the map again. Yeah, Narwhal is nearby, and it would be... Okay. Alright, so he has... Alright. Good to know. He has... No, absolutely. Brunhild had a whole falling out and probably wouldn't even come back to help us if... That whole shebang. Absolutely. Brunhild definitely didn't want anything to do with the group anymore. But, yeah. Yeah. Oh! No. Jasper has issues, but it's fine. The whole family has issues. It's cool. But my point was, well, we're outside of the city limits. Hardby is right here. No, not particularly, actually. There's also Safetown, and Narwell, somewhere from there. Is there an elven? No, there's no elven quarter in Hardby. There are a few elves in the area. Actually, alright. We said 15 minutes, right? Wait. Let's see what we have here. Hard Bay. Yeah, that's why it's called Hardby. Just off Woolly Bay. Right, that's true. And I'm guessing the other half is human. There's also small towns, small fishing villages. Okay. And then Norbelos. Directing Oligarchy, this asshole, the Hardby Marines, those guys, Ritep Mandel. I thought there was something about a notable elf who was part of the Thieves Guild. Nope, guess not. Okay. Okay, so what, a bard? Are you sure he's not from Greyhawk? There are several bardic colleges in Greyhawk. It's just up the river, and a charming fellow, especially if he were straight, might have any reason to come to Hardby. And then get roped into, is it? There wasn't a lot of information on Safetown, actually. If it is, then that needs to be put in the wiki, but this is not, It was actually a woman from, a wizard from Safetown, Edna Norbles, who, founded Hardby. Well, gee, why did no one put this on the wiki? See, okay. Freaking, ugh. This is why I... Okay, now I have to do the whole freaking wiki. Okay, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I mean, Safetown. City on the Wild Coast. Yeah. Freaking... A1 through 4, Scourge with the Slave Lords. Yeah. Freaking... Okay. See, there's like a gajillion, but like... No... Why does no one... Okay, someone has to... Alright, no one tells me these things. This is why... This is why this wiki needs work. Okay. But yeah. Alright, so we're gonna do that. Yeah, so... You know more about frickin' Greyhawk than I do. Very clearly. So... Okay, so you clearly know more about Greyhawk than I do. Very clearly. Which means... Anyway, we're near Hardby, fighting a black dragon somewhere in that whole mess. And, names does sound Bacloonish, though. Just saying. Precisely. Anyway, my point being, yeah, I would say go from Greyhawk, because honestly, it sounds like a bardic thing from a big city. I don't know, he has vibes. Not bard vibes as in Greyhawk style druid bards, but bard in the more contemporary 5e sense, so yeah, but history and geography, if I knew anything about history and geography, then I would know that Safeton was a slaver town. Besides which, I don't know that much about bards are always awesome. Just because they're mechanically not good does not mean they suck. They're amazing, alright? Always. And forever. Amazing. Firstly. Secondly, yeah, I would suggest being from Greyhawk. Exactly, which your guy seems to be like that vibe of having a bardic vibe to him. But yeah, from Greyhawk sounds pretty solid. And it's a big enough city that a half-elf would make sense. Either that or Hardby. Being from Hardby is not a bad thing inherently. We used to, not anymore. We have a lot of fighters. A thief who always rolls a rogue who always rolls terribly. We have a druid now. Beska, the wizard, obviously. We have Jasper, who's basically a fighter. Grom, also a fighter. We do have a ranger. But yeah. No bards anymore. We lost our bard. And, but yeah, I would suggest being from Greyhawk. Well, a fighter in training and speciality who is a bard in his soul. And, you know, a rakish ne'er-do-well who can play the lute or something, you know? No magic, but music. That's a thought. Or, I mean, okay. But yes, Greyhawk is very awesome. And I would suggest the Free City, personally. Or, you know, anywhere along the Celatine. Hardby itself. They definitely can do some cool inspirational stuff, though. Like, they can't do the same kind of inspiration that, say, Pathfinder Bard could. But they can definitely do cool inspirational stuff. There's definitely... They can do stuff... There are some things they can do that have inspirational vibes to them. For sure. Alright. Now... Exactly. They can do... That's what Inspiration does in 5e anyway, is they give you a bonus. They just give you a bonus for a single roll. Oh yeah, so you know what's up. Actually, you could be a Scald. That could be cool. But no, yeah, but I would suggest being from Greyhawk. It's a classic. Or you could be from Elmshire, if you want it to be really fancy. It's a halfling city. Except I know you have a thing about halflings. Ooh. I wish I knew more about this part of the Aborals. I mean, how far are we from the Salatin? We might end up in the Mistmarsh. I hope we're not that far away. We might be that far from Hardby, but we might be that far. But we're definitely gonna fight a black dragon. There you go. But yeah, we probably are gonna end up fighting a black dragon, just so you know. It could just be a wyvern. It could be a wyvern. We're hoping it's a wyvern. An evil sky lizard that has acidic vibes. So it might not be a black dragon. It might just be a wyvern. Yeah, exactly. Okay, now, for those of you confused, Sig and I was playing in a Friday night game of Castles and Crusades that takes place in, or as of now is taking place in Orth, near Hardby. We originally came from Aird, but went through a portal, and Sig is rolling up a new character to join us for this Friday night. And he was asking me for advice on where this new guy should come from, and I busted out the Greyhawk map as an acquiescence. But I say that we've broken up the 15-minute rule, and we should go back to the 41st millennium. And, boom. So, back in the 41st millennium, you owe me a planet name. Remember? Because I said, I'll help you find out where your guy's from if you help me name the planet. I suppose we could call it Orth and be a really ridiculous... Ooh. Interesting. Alright. Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't make the chat, but I was at work all night yesterday. Although... Anyway. The planet. I'm glad Biggie was nice to you, though. Reconciliation is important. Here. Okay. But my point on all of that was, you owe me a name for... Oh, call the planet here. You know what? Let's do it. That's where we're officially naming the planet, everyone. Anyone who might have popped in since. Here. Yeah, we are naming the planet here. It is a small planet after a character who just existed now. So that's pretty cool, actually. I mean, we did, I think we still only have one viewer, so you might still be the only person watching. Oh, yeah. There's a danger level thing. But anyway, I mean, hey, someone's got to keep the chickens in line. You know, those guys are dinosaurs. Or they used to be. All right, so we got a name for the planet. It's a feral world. It has the Imperial commander. What's it known for? And why do they need... It's probably known for drugs, honestly. Actually, though, what is the planet Irihir known for? That's an interesting question. Back to the 41st millennium, because we were trying... Those of you who are watching the stream, and we did a whole non sequitur, which especially makes very little sense if you were watching the VOD. But we are back in the 41st millennium, and we're trying to name a planet and figure out what the deal with this planet is. Lumber? Actually, that makes a lot of sense. A feral world. For fast-growing sorry, nose is itchy. Fast-growing trees. Ooh, woodwind intervention. I like that. You know what? Could make sense. That actually makes some sense. And then... rocking chairs to make an interesting musical sound while rocking. I'm not sure on that one, but... Okay. For woodwind instruments. That's a thought, actually. Pressure on the wood combined with the rocking motions causes a sound in me that is soothing to the ear. I've never heard of that phenomenon, but it sounds like just plausible enough to be, you know, a thing. I mean, yeah, that's fairly enough. Have you ever, ever seen pre-Spanish Peruvian instruments? Like these freaking woodwinds that mimic bird sound? It's just, like, I don't even know how. It's just like you carve them in the right kind of wood in exactly the right way, and it just sounds like I don't even. It's a thing. Combined with the pressure and rocking motion. Um, 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 Sorry, I'm writing this down. This is, oh, dang it. One of the, you see now, we also need, Sig or whoever else is in the chat, if anyone else is in the chat, indeed, which is unlikely but not impossible. Or if anyone watching this later on YouTube wants to put it in the comments. I cannot say I've ever had anyone put YouTube comments on my work, but, you know you can. I do appreciate that sort of thing. Point being, I need planet names. I need names for planets. I need names for planets. I'm out of cool planet names, which means I'm naming them one by one. Just, you know, I'm pretty sure I used Growth for a planet. I just can't remember because I wrote it in my notebook. When we get to that part of the notebook, we'll break down. If we didn't, we're always doing more planets. But, while, wood brought to, okay, does anyone want to name a city? Sig, you can name the city if you want. There is a single city on this planet, and it is, everyone else just kind of, I don't want a whole billion. I want only, like, a couple hundred. Barely even. Probably not even, like, 300, okay? We're probably not even gonna hit a full 300. We're not naming every single planet. In fact, there are a lot of them that are already named, so we can't even name them all. And, honestly, I just want enough so that we can weave a cool tale about people who come from different planets, and since there are so many, we name them as we go. But it's nice to have a cool set of backup names in case, you know, we come up with, you know, because there's so many people on the ship, and of course they're all going to come from different planets, and it might be interesting to What, we're going to name each planet after a guy who played a Spartan? I mean, it's not impossible. But, you know, I mean, sure, but, you know, it's fun to have variety. And, yeah, I mean, maybe one of them could be named Sparta, but Sparta already exists, you know, so you'd have to make it, like, either vaguely Spartan thematically, or, like, entirely non-Spartan in its methodology, and it's just... I mean, Shirtless Oiled Planet sounds Oh, no. You're doing the thing. You're doing the thing. Don't do the thing. Don't do the thing. Don't do the thing, because then we're going to have to start shipping them. And shipping planets is just a whole thing that, I mean, it's not unheard of. All right, in the far recesses of to personify, there's a technical term for it, for creating the human representation of a thing. Anthropomorphizing, yeah. Anthropomorphizing and shipping planets is not a thing, but also it's something we're going to do on the stream. Unless people are really interested in planet shipping videos, then maybe we can, although that sort of thing is usually done through art. And while you saw the map of Beezus, my art skills are not good. Plus, each planet would need not just a human personification, but a geographical personification as well, because that's how planets are planets. They're just OCs if you don't give them an actual planet to back up them. Unless you just pick a random planet, like Earth, for example. That could be apparent. But my point is then you would have each those anthropomorphic character creations would then represent an actual planet with, Does that make sense? I know, it's confusing. And you've probably never even heard of anthropomorphic planet shipping when you suggested the group of planets go. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure someone has. I've never, I'm not something I ship, but I'm pretty sure someone ships it somewhere on the internet. This is, I mean, I know Earth Moon is definitely a vibe. Although it's kind of incesty, so people tend to treat it that way. But I have seen people shipping Earth Moon. Like, they'll personify them both and, But my point being, I have yet to see personification of Earth. Does not mean it doesn't exist in the bowels of the internet. Well, you don't go in shipping circles. I'm pretty sure you don't go in the circles where people ship stuff. Not ship as in... although, sorry, there was a show called Shipping Wars that was about actual, literal, commerce, and, let's just say the name is amusing, given the other meaning of the term shipping wars, but yes, shipping is a thing, on Tumblr and DeviantArt in the corners of the internet where the young people play, I've seen. I could never draw, so it kind of... That saved me from a lot of that, but, but yeah. Sorry, we got very off track. Brought to the only city on the planet. Tribes and other... Oh. Oh, sure. Cool people do 3D art. Sure. Cool people do. I hang out with nerds, though. So, that's why you're probably a cool kid. That's why you never heard of the nerds who ship planets. Let's see. On their own devices. Of course not. I would never accuse you of being guys. Except for, I'm trying to actually do a little bit of lore about this planet, though, because I said I was going to do a Warhammer 40k stream, and it's getting close to 3 o'clock, and I have barely done any Warhammer 30k. 40k. 30k is a whole separate, that's the, Warhammer 30k, as it were, is the, when the Emperor was first conquering, in which new render? Hang on. Distraction. Stop distracting me. Oh, the cute one where they're getting ice cream, or they're talking about getting ice cream? I mean, he looks half decent in it. Let's see. It's in the regular old one, right? Alfheim artwork. I remember seeing it. Oh, yes, that one. He looks Valdezzy. Cute with the short shorts. Okay, Warhammer 20,000 was... Actually, there might be way more chaos in 20,000. Because Warhammer 20,000 was... Okay. 20,000 was the post-nuclear apocalypse, Earth, where, the shattering of, Earth and, that was right when the whole that was exactly when, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. People in Europe tend to wear shorter shorts in terms of swimsuits than American, men. Or, I should say men in Europe. I mean, I certainly so, which is kind of annoying because swim packers are not like a thing, and they're really, really obvious if you aren't, well, packing. Although, apparently swim packers are a thing now, so that's fun. But if you swim in your packer, it tends to fall out into the water, and then it's really awkward. Yeah, anyway. It's more helpful if you just either say F it and don't care, or have naturally occurring dick that's actually attached to your body, which is a handy dandy thing to have. But that was neither here nor there. Except for I'm trying to do Warhammer 40,000. Warhammer 20,000 was just when Slaanesh was being murder fucked into existence. That is not the technical term. For those of you who are not familiar with I mean, that's a way to do it. Or you can wear American-style swimsuits that are a little looser and don't worry too much about it. That's what I've learned to do, except then you have to swim with a binder, and then you get lightheaded when you try to do flips in the water. Yes, what was I going to say? Except for tribes in other areas. I had a whole plan about the thingies, and then you got me talking about swimsuits because Valdez, and then I get very easily distracted. Those of you who are watching the stream who are not SIG will have to understand that I get very easily distracted by a lot of things. Very easily. So, but what was I doing? I was explaining oh yes. Except for troop levies. Yeah, the Imperial Guard recruits from there. Yes. They do. If you've ever tried going in the water with your with your chest compressed, it does kind of not, well, only if you try to do, like, underwater somersaults, which I used to do all the time when I was a kid. It's a lot of fun. But, if you have your chest bound up, it does not work so well. So, of course, swimming shirtless is frowned on if you have boobs, so you kind of have to, it's a, give and take of how you manage that. But, what we're going to do. We were going to end the stream here is what we were going to do. I just wanted to make sure to get, like, the troop levies to thing, and then we were getting all distracted because distractions are a thing. But I really appreciate you coming, Zig, and also anyone else who happens to be popping in, watching, who's not Zig, and anyone who watches later. I also appreciate you. You guys are all awesome. Discord, we got, let's see. Let's do a raid. What are they doing? There's a channel that's drawing maps. It's just doing dungeon maps, kind of a relaxing vibe. We'll go, they don't have a lot of viewers, so we'll go raid them and pop in and say hi. If you want to come with, I'm coming along. Bye-bye.